Welcome to the good, the bad, and the bloody. I'm Derek Brown.
I'm Cody Bowden.
And I'm Trevor Struck.
Whoa!
Okay, and then that's when we'll have music.
That's bodacious, bro.
Wayne, Garth,
fucking look at that clip.
Bill, and Ted.
Welcome back to the show. This week we have a special guest, Trevor Struck. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Howdy ho.
Okay, that's
Perfect.
probably the best we're gonna get.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Whatever.
yes, let's just move on from that.
Square one complete. Yes. Pet Sematary.
We're gonna jump right into this one.
February. Resurrection month. Why not start with Pet Sematary?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know it was Resurrection Month.
Yes.
You didn't? Oh
February.
my god.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you know we have themed
I
months?
did know that.
Okay.
The last one was Ghost Month.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. It was Ghost
This
Month.
one's-
At least somebody pays
Resurrection
attention.
month.
I'm talking to you, audience.
What do you expect? No, we hired this guy. He's a professional audio guy.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't watch our show.
I'm a pro.
Yeah, dog.
I don't have time to dilly-dally with this shit.
I don't have time to talk on the radio. I'm a talk show host. I've got no time for this. Anyway, yes. So let's talk about some stuff first before we just jump right into it. You know, because that's
All right.
absurd. We never do. We always start our episodes with like, all right, here's Pet Sematary, and then we just talk about whatever for 10 minutes.
Round about the bush.
Yeah, let's fucking just admit that we have problems. And our problems today is that my voice is kind of going away. It shouldn't be noticeable still. I feel kind of weird. But we got a third man on the show now. He's, what do you think of our setup, by the way?
It's pretty elaborate.
Oh my god.
It's got a lot going for it.
That's nice guy terms for it's piss poor.
Yeah.
I should know I'm a nice guy.
Maybe we should mention, I don't think we did before, but you're allowed to be an asshole. No one's going to tell you to lie. I say all the time how much I hate your face. No,
Oh.
just kidding. We'll cut that out.
I thought you were gonna.
It was fine keeping it in there.
I thought you were gonna say you
It's pretty
admit
funny.
every time that our show is shit, and I was gonna say, "Yep," and I cry every time you leave
Oh my god.
after we're done recording.
Whoa.
Well, no, it's true though. Like I always tell people like I don't like my show. We keep doing it. It's
I
like
have a podcast. Yeah, it fucking sucks.
no, that's what I do, and they say, "Really? I kind of like that." And I'm like, "Really?" Like, I don't know.
I remember one of
podcasts.
One of the first compliments.
That's what I think.
One of the first compliments we got was, "I like your guys' laughter."
Yeah, seriously. No, it's Cody Caruso. You know who that is?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
listened to it, and then, he was just like, "I like it when you laugh. It's funny." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a really funny laugh."
I
So,
just want to hear you laugh for 3 hours straight.
Oh
God.
boy.
So if I were to make a stand-up comedy tour, it would be me listening to other stand-up comedies and laughing. I just have earbuds in. I don't know.
You just walk around on stage like, "How's it going, folks?"
Dude, yes.
Sorry, I'm listening to CK. Oh, he's a genius. I wish you could hear this.
Comedy gold, guys.
Unlike me, I'm terrible. No, and that's exactly how I feel about this podcast. That's why it's kind of weird. Don't you dare come into this show and tell us how good it is. Telling us that our setup is elaborate when we all know that we film inside of an outhouse that we relocated to behind the Denny's because
And
it's
then
not a working outhouse.
Relocated into Derek's room.
Yes.
They're
We
sitting-
downgraded every single time.
Yes.
I guarantee you one of these days, if this ever, totally kicks off, we'll still be like that. Like, "Are you guys from the podcast?" Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I wish I could get out of it.
You're like signing autographs. Oh my god, these fucking idiots.
It's like, why do these people like it?
I can't believe they listen to this garbage.
Or like one of us is incognito and in line, just like, "God, this podcast is garbage."
We just like, no, maybe that's how we're like advertising by accent. We're just like, no, it's terrible. And people are like, no, it's probably not that bad. I'll pity you. Here, let me give it a pity listen. And they go, oh, it's really not that bad, actually. Right on.
Right on.
What's with your positivity?
I don't know.
I don't like this.
You gloomy Gus.
Making
Turn
me
that smile upside down.
You're making me uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Trevor, what did you do today?
What did what?
What did you do today?
What did I do today? I fucking went to school. It sucked ass because
Okay.
My teachers are stupid as shit, which is weird because teachers are supposed to be smart as shit, but they're stupid as shit.
Sounds like it.
Well, I mean, if you think
Sounds
about
like a real
it,
nightmare.
think about it. I don't know. They're just sometimes you get some shitty teachers in college, man.
So you went to school.
Went to school and then I went home, found my dog shit all over the floor.
There we go.
Pretty fucking gross.
That's the story I
I was
wanted
like,
to
"Fuck
hear.
you dumbass fucking dog."
Yeah,
Piece of shit.
skip the school sob
Skip
story.
the school.
I want
sucks.
to
whatever.
hear about your dog shitting all
Dog
over the
shit
place.
all over the
I think
fucking
I saw
floor.
that. You sent me a Snapchat.
Yeah, I sent you the Snapchat of it. It's pretty great.
It looked like
I was just
someone opened up like.
I was like, "Fucking shit, goddamn piece of shit, dog."
Yeah, that's exactly what you said in Snapchat too. And you just took a photo of the
Dude,
dookie in the middle of the
It
floor.
was the biggest fucking pile of diarrhea shit all over the tile
I was
floor.
gonna say, you know
and it
those.
smelled so bad, and I was like,
You know those like big ass
why?
cans you get from Costco? Like usually they'll have
Yeah.
like peaches in them or something,
Yeah.
like peach halves. It looked like someone opened that, but instead of peaches, there were like refried beans.
yeah,
Just like a big glob on there.
That's a good description. It
Yeah.
was
Dude,
pretty
look at
terrible.
all this
gross.
shit on the floor.
I know.
That's what you
Literally
said.
all this shit all
Then
over.
I went to work, found they had nudie pics. One of the customers for the first time. That was interesting.
Whoa.
A nudie pic of one of the customers?
Yeah, because they were like printing in photo lab, because I work in photo.
Oh my god, are you allowed to do that?
No.
Print nudes?
No. So they have to like go like put the special slip in there that's like, "You're a fucking horrible person," and then like package that up and give it to him, And then I
No
have
way.
to go and put it in a different slip and give it to my manager and be like, "I'm scarred for life."
So,
Was it a good photo though? Sexy? Is it a dude? Still.
It's just like,
so you're putting a slip in their slip.
Well, for some weird reason, I thought you were gonna say like I went to work and there was more shit on the floor.
there was
Just-
a big pile of dog
Dude,
shit.
if I were to
in my
curse,
workstation.
if I were to curse you like with some kind of hex, I would make it so everywhere you go, like every like third hallway you walk into, just
Why?
has a pile of shit.
Why?
On the floor. I said if I was to curse you,
Why?
I'm not gonna
That's
give.
horrible.
I'm not gonna give you. I would give you a good one now. It'd be like a spell.
Like every time you print photos, anywhere,
Candy comes
it's just
out.
of naked people.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
like good naked people.
Yeah.
and that you meet that like you.
Like every one of them, Marilyn Monroe.
yeah, there you go. Rare
Status.
ones that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah.
But if I were to evil spell on you, shit
Dog
everywhere,
shit everywhere.
all the time. You wouldn't even have a dog anymore. There's just shit everywhere.
Nasty.
I don't know. What would you give him?
But
And no matter what, you'd end up stepping on it.
What would you give him?
just like it's around every third corner, but you don't see it. And you
I don't know
always
how much of
step
a
on
curse
it.
it is,
And you slip
but
and
nude
fall
photos
in
of
it.
us instead of Marilyn Monroe.
Oh God, no.
Those are pretty. Actually, yeah.
But
Curse or not?
that's a blessing.
yeah,
Wait, what's the
pretty fucking
definition of
boring,
curse?
Like,
I seem to.
I do nothing, man. If there's no one ordering photos, I just walk around and zone for like fucking 4 hours straight. It's
Yeah.
like,
That's how my job goes.
like, yeah, well, I better make this stack of papers look good for
That's
the
how-
12th time.
That's how everyone's job was. I don't know. Our age group, like either they're working like jobs like Derek, doing like handyman stuff, like Henry does that stuff too, or they're doing retail like we are, or they're doing call centers. Those are the only 3 jobs that apparently are available to 20-year-olds.
That's true.
This is already a train wreck. And with that, let's talk about Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, honestly. And I remember why,
Sorry.
No, when I first saw this with Trevor, actually.
Oh jeez.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I forgot everything
Yeah.
about it except bad memory. But I remember now why I liked it so much.
You at least remembered that it was
I
one of your
remember when we
favorites.
watched it.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I watched it was like 7th grade. And I was freaked the shit out of me. I was like, I gotta show this to Cody.
Yeah. So I was
Freak him out.
I was in 8th grade then, huh?
And I think we watched it on like your tiny TV.
Did we?
Yeah, like the one we played Halo on all the time.
Oh wow.
So you're
We watched
probably,
it,
like,
we watched it
squinting up
downstairs, like squinting, like staring at this tiny ass TV, getting the spooks fucked out of us. I
just
don't know
like-
how to word.
Oh yeah, it was that little
The
tiny
little
one.
TV, yeah.
That one that was like
Can't see
like
shit
1
on.
foot by 1 foot.
Yeah.
It's like this cube, and like the power button was fucked up. So you'd have to
Oh my
like
God.
you'd have to finger the TV to like turn it on.
Yeah.
Well,
and then you just be like, "Come on, I'm just trying to turn you on." just fucking sticking your whole finger in
come
there.
on, you little cock teeth.
Yes. When was the first time
Teeth.
you watched this movie? Derek? I figure I should probably address you since they can't see me facing him to address
Oh
him.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Let's see. I saw bits and pieces growing up as a kid,
Yeah.
but I think the first time I saw it from start to finish was just a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah?
I think junior year. So if you guys are like a year younger than me, that would have been 10th grade.
Yeah, well,
so you guys saw it first,
Well, here's
2
the
years
thing.
younger.
You're 22, right? 22.
as far as I'm told.
as far as I know. So you're my brother's age. So like I'm gonna be 21 really soon. Trevor's gonna be 20 a little bit after that. So it's kind of like a weird ladder right now in like
Shit.
age. Nah,
I'm just a youngin'.
Trevor's a baby.
I'm just a boy.
He's a sexy
And
baby.
you guys saw a classic before me. How's this happen?
Well, I mean, it's not like I remembered it, Derek. I don't remember anything, honestly. I know, seriously, I remembered nothing from this movie, but like that scene with the scalpel. Never mind.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Everything very vividly.
Yeah, you've got good memory.
I remember like a lot of shit.
He remembers stuff about me, though.
But apparently I can't remember shit about school.
You have your
I remember,
priorities
like,
set
weird
straight.
stuff. Yeah, apparently. I don't know, man. Got a weird memory.
But
with that,
the reason we have Trevor on here, our first ever guest host, is that he read the book.
Oh my god, yeah. Actually, well, that's not why we have him on here, but that's a very important...
That's one of the reasons.
Well,
that's a very good thing. But you were saying there was really only one key element that was missing.
I only read half the book.
Okay.
The half that matters.
So
that's okay.
It's the better half.
It's
because it's the half I read.
Yes.
It's the thought that counts.
I was very clutch. I was doing a book report in 7th grade. I'd say clutch. Clutch is a good descriptive word.
MVP of the school.
So clutch. And I was like, shit, I've only read half this book and this book report's due tomorrow. Better go down to the store and rent this movie, or like buy this movie so I can fucking finish this report.
Sweet.
And I did, and it worked. And I got an A, so thank you, Pet Sematary.
There you go, man.
Stephen King made you pass.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, yeah. You know what? If you have like choice to read a book, pick one with a movie adaptation.
Yeah, seriously.
And then just watch the movie.
Especially if you're like in middle school, you know, you gotta do that shit.
That reminds me
I don't know if that's a good... I don't know if I should tell people to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
don't do that if you're a college listener.
Don't do this, kids at home. Actually do this at home. You know? But I had a film thing like that in summer school one year. We had to read a book and write a report on it, and I just asked, hey, can I just film something for it? And the guy just goes, sure, why the fuck not?
He's like...
So I read The Bourne Ultimatum.
Yeah.
And I made it like 3 chapters in and went, fuck this book.
Yeah.
So then I just went, you know what, I'm going to film a trailer for it. He probably didn't read the book. He saw the movie. Yeah. So I filmed it. Everybody loved it.
Did he like it too? Oh, there you go. No, dude,
they laughed. One girl cried.
I would never make kids write reports if I was like anything under college level. Just because, like, as a teacher, that's so boring, you know?
Reading a bunch of terrible...
Yeah, and then you gotta act like it's good, just because they had, like, proper grammar. Yeah, but what they write about sucks. You ever actually read someone else's report, like, in class, like, peer review? Mm-hmm. They're fucking boring. And I'm like, your writing sucks dick, but there's nothing wrong with the grammar, so A+.
It's horrendous.
Like,
and then this happened, and then this happened.
Oh,
and then this happened.
It's like, kill me.
I recently do a freaking 3-page report or whatever on like someone else's research paper. Like, I had to find like a random research journal, and it had to be in my field, so it had to be about chemistry. And I was like,
ooh. I
have to review this person's research journal on chemistry. I was like, what? This isn't like, how do you review that? You know, how do you like? Oh, I see that they were talking about you know, some chemical equations here. Yeah, I don't like their voicing on that. Better change that shit.
Exactly. I don't know, but there's not much...
It's just like, okay, thanks, English teacher, for screwing me in the butt.
You can't really... Thank you, sir, for fucking... No, you can't really comment on, like, science. Because it's science.
Yeah, it's like it's a fact, it's there.
Yeah, you can't just be like...
Cool.
Well, that's...
How am I supposed to, like...
Or even if it's bullshit, they'll just say it's a theory.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, it's like... It wasn't even like it was a theory. It was just like this like factual based freaking research paper, and I'm just like, well, I don't know what you want me to do here.
If it's a pretty hot chick, you'd walk up to her and be like, "Hey, I read your paper on chemistry. I reviewed it. I think we would have good chemistry.
I think we would make good chemistry." I would like to see some comments about like some like study, just like, yeah, I understand the build and makeup of protein from calcium, but. I mean, have you like, Moses?
Well, so have you ever thought about how you know calcium starts with a C?
I mean, that shit's C for crazy. Am I right? Call me. Maybe.
Is this thing on?
No. Anyway, let's move on to
Pet Sematary.
Yes, let's start talking about this movie.
So how about them Broncos? No, I'm just Pet Sematary, please.
Yeah, please. Now, does anyone remember how it starts?
It started with some creepy music over some tombstones.
Creepy ass singing.
And both of you were like,
bunch of little kids singing and shit. All creepy.
Now
Scared the fuck out of me.
yeah, now I'm having flashbacks. So like
When I was a little boy.
it pretty much shows us what this right off the bat what the Pet Cemetery looks like with the intro credits.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this like strange almost like Stonehenge ring that kids have built their graves for their pets in. But I don't know, it's creepy and atmospheric and it like serves its purpose. But if you think about it, how would a structure like that actually like be built? Do kids plan that?
It like made me think that like when I first saw it, like I was like, oh, the Pet Cemetery is like the all evil and shit. Like it's gonna have all these like zombie pets that come to life out of the Pet Cemetery.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
attack stuff, and I was like, oh nope, that was wrong.
That's true. Yeah, that is a good
You
point.
know?
Like the title of the movie or in book,
It just makes it seem like that's where the shit's gonna go.
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not.
it's the segue
Yeah,
to it. You know, they didn't call Halloween Michael Myers killer guy. You know, they called it Halloween because it was about Halloween.
Yeah, it's only in the
Exactly.
tagline for Halloween they say the night he came home. If
Yeah.
they had made that the actual title, I probably would have been like, the fuck is this?
Yeah,
the night
no,
he
for
came
real.
home.
Careful with
my bad.
Even the sequel, it said more of the night he came home.
Are you serious?
Because it takes place right after, same night,
Oh my
and everything.
that. Halloween 3. The re-Halloween.
The next day,
Next time. No.
the day he left home.
But
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
so it pretty much just shows how, I don't know, it just shows the graveyard. Really.
Yeah, it starts off pretty spooky.
Bunch
pretty
of
good.
crude crosses and like tombstones written by children dedicated to their pets.
So, of course, they're all spelled wrong with backwards S's.
Which is, I've never written an
Cemetery
S.
spelled with an S.
Has anyone written an S backward by accident when you were a kid? I've
No.
never done that. Kids aren't that stupid.
Because I didn't eat glue as a
know.
kid.
I've eaten my fair share of glue,
But
but
actually,
I write my S's the right way.
to be fair, actually, the time period in which the cemetery was constructed was like 1920.
At
Yeah.
least.
No, yeah, if not earlier, because
Yeah.
friggin' good man Judd,
He at least buried his
he
dog
buried
in
his dog in
27.
20 something.
And if anything, that was like,
That was when he was like 12 or
And it was already
14.
there, established.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was the old kid on the block already.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
Because his was like in one of the outer rings, it wasn't the inner one.
yeah. So speaking of like that scene where they give us the cemetery, like what it looks like, let's talk about the setting. Like what time period is this in? Like 1970, like 80 maybe?
70s or 80s,
I
maybe
think,
earlier.
Like late 70s?
At the latest, 89, when the movie came out.
Yeah, that's
came
true.
out.
That's true. I don't know. It's got to be like earlier
'Cause
80s. Their haircuts are so weird, you know.
That wife's hairdo is 80s.
She looks like the woman from the Ivan Drago's like girl
Well, how
from
old,
Rocky
How
4.
old do you think Judd is in the movie?
Judd
'Cause, like,
looks ancient.
he's like if he was like 12 and like 27, and this was like 89.
That's a good question or a good point. Yeah, he's probably like 70.
Kind of
in
fucking
that.
old,
He's probably 70 in that.
man. He booked it through like the fucking woods and shit.
So I'd
Juddy's
say
eternal.
Yeah,
Actually, he
Well-
mentions that. He's like, you know, why do all these things?
We'll get
you
to
know-
that part.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we'll get to that.
Judd's eternalness.
Judd's forever.
Judd
Judd's
is
dread. Judd's dread.
Oh.
Sorry. No, but yeah. So it's somewhere in the early 1980s. It's kind of out in like the middle of the woods.
It's in a time. It's in a place.
in a time and place.
Where they're like
It was the best
Maine,
of times.
Maryland?
Dude, if it's a Stephen King book,
Maine?
they're in Maine.
it was Maine. I remember the license plate. I was like, oh, Maine.
Are they Maine?
Yeah, they're in Maine.
Stephen King is obsessed
That's
with
right.
Maine.
I
They
was obsessed
mentioned
with
that.
him.
That's where he came from, isn't it?
Oh,
I think so. I think that's why he spent a lot of childhood in his like woods.
It
So-
takes place in Maine.
It always does. Maybe does he just not think Maine is real
man,
and just like
every
trying to-
Stephen King movie I could think of. Pet Cemetery,
Maine.
It.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, they are all. They really
That's all I got
are
on the top of my head.
all in Maine.
Most of them are.
But
I'll have to
anyway,
rewatch
Chunk.
Shawshank. See if that's in
Now-
Maine as well.
Maine.
this is what's weird. I can't seem to remember what happens right after that cemetery intro.
They move in.
They straight up just show him moving
Yeah,
in.
no, yeah, they just move in right after that.
Oh,
They're
wow.
just like, ooh, yeah.
They move right into the house.
Wow. So they're
Husband, wife, autistic daughter, and a little 3-year-old
Little
Hitler youth.
yeah. So
adorable.
this new
Gage.
family's moving in. The father of the family, who is kind of our main character, he is our main character
Lewis.
actually. Lewis. He is a doctor, and he's going to be the doctor for the campus on the nearby school. So they're moving kind of like this outskirts of town, and it shows them all unpacking and stuff. And this is where you kind of realize one of the main elements in this movie / story as well: the road. There's trucks flying down this road like 1,000,000 miles an hour back and forth, and it's insane. They're going like 100.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And then that's when you
only go in one direction though.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they only ever go one direction.
Yeah.
Seems like it, yeah.
But anyway, so like they're all unpacking and whatnot, and then the little boy of the family starts walking out into the middle of the road, and then Lewis is like,
"Oh shit,
Rose!" No,
but good man Judd comes up and picks him.
He appears out of fucking nowhere.
He does.
You don't want to be walking in that road, boy.
Yeah, he's a big old lurch,
huge lurch looking dude.
So yeah,
but he's
huge.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, so this guy who you think is going to be like, if you don't know anything about the story or movie, you think he's going to be like the murderer, you know?
Because he's got a face like a gargoyle.
Yeah.
And a voice to boot.
Exactly.
Teeth like Hawk.
But he's this hillbilly-looking farmer guy kind of... Well, he's not really hillbilly. He's more just like an old farmer guy.
He's like a countryside dude.
He's just
a farmer. He doesn't farm.
I know. He
just drinks and
what
smokes.
What does he do? What is it? How did he get money?
I think his job is to wear overalls and be
and
creepy.
warn people.
And and warn people / put them in danger.
Give cryptic messages.
Yeah. And so, it's funny. So he grabs...
Never mention the fact that he has a wife.
Yeah, exactly. Which you were saying.
Yeah, which was interesting because in the book he has a wife and she plays like a decent role in everything.
Yeah.
And then in the movie she's not there at all.
But it
doesn't even like mention that he was ever married or anything in the movie.
As far as the movie though, thematically, I think it's better to have
let's
no
just
wife.
get rid of this character.
Yeah, he's more mysterious being like almost by himself.
But he wasn't supposed to be like mysterious was the thing. He's supposed to be like this nice neighbor dude.
But
not mysterious.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, he is my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah.
He's the coolest character. Great. Yeah, he's creepy, he's great. I mean, weird way to introduce himself to save this family's kid, and then they go, "Oh my God, thank you so much. What's your name? Whatever, you know. My name's Judd. You know, move to the neighborhood.
Oh there, little man."
I made him sound like Sling Blade. French fried potatoes.
Well, you don't want to be rocking in that road there.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen many animals die on the road from the trucks.
He pretty much, this is his first like cryptic warning. He just tells the family how many things have died.
Man, all that foreshadowing.
This road takes animals like batteries.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And during this also, I can't tell if this was before or after. The little girl of the family finds a tire swing while they're unpacking the car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And she's swinging on it. The rope breaks. It lands on her, which I was like, I thought it was funny because the little girl in this movie is the worst actor I've ever seen.
I thought she was decent. She was alright.
Now, I think I mentioned it while we were watching it. Either it's the lines they gave her because they're Stephen King lines. They're not going to be great.
They're like straight from the book, the lines she got. Yeah. That's the thing.
And kids don't talk like that, which is why it was weird.
Yeah.
But she didn't deliver them well either. I mean, like, work with what you got.
Exactly.
Bitch. You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. So she lands on her legs on the tire, and then that's when they discover right past a tree, there's a little trail that goes into the woods. And then he mentions to Judd right after they meet him, you know, "Where's that trail go?" And he looks at him real creepy. Creepy music starts to play.
They do
And he goes, "That trail over there, it's got a story and a walk, you know, whatever."
Yeah, it's a good walk and a good story. That's for another time, though.
Yeah, and it's like, why don't you tell me now, you creepy
Christ.
weirdo, right? Oh my gosh. But, gosh, what? See, that's the thing. The story is
like, all right, good family outing.
yeah, pretty
Let's all
much.
go.
Yeah, they just establish they meet each other, and then next thing I remember was Lewis goes to his first day of work as the doctor.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's the
right.
first thing that happens, huh?
Yeah.
Basically,
Holy cow.
so.
Well, that's what's weird because I feel like
there is the scene with the babysitter.
Yeah. Well, it's not the babysitter. She's the housemaid or whatever.
Oh yeah, she visits and like does laundry every now and then. This woman named Missy.
Yeah, she shows up basically to sit there and go, "My stomach hurts. I'm not married.
She's like, I wish I was
lonely,
lucky and I married a doctor."
And it's weird because she talks the same way that Judd does, but she's this like 50-year-old woman, and Judd's like, "Oh,
this infinitely aged man."
I loved how like by the end Lewis started talking like Judd too. Like,
it's true.
Did you get that? Like when he was like turned back, he's like, "See, it was just in our minds." Just like walks and goes and freaking buries his son, and this is like, what the fuck?
That's true. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This movie is so interesting because I feel like there's scenes that are like character development that we're missing, but it's not. The characters really speak for themselves, except for the little girl, just because, like you said a bit ago, she must be autistic.
Yeah.
Because the worst acting, worst lines, I hate the little girl, who gives a fuck? But all the other characters, I kind of
She's
feel
basically Danny Torrance from The Shining.
Yeah.
She just exists just to say spooky shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. These characters they're pretty human, though. And a weird thing about...
Pascal. It's just like...
She was saying Paxow or whatever. You fucked it up.
Because she's autistic.
Now, you guys mentioned that this movie is cheesy, and that docks points from
it. Was cheesy, man.
A lot of people say it's cheesy, though.
Did
you think it was cheesy?
It's the girl, man.
It's the girl? That's the thing.
It's just got some cheesy acting and like effects. Just because of the time. Like, it was 1989.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have docked points myself if it came out like last year. I was like, really? They can't like edit that shit out? Or like get a better kid actor? You know, go to the goddamn Kellogg's lot, you know? They probably got some commercial for some little girl right over there.
Smackers.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, this movie. I like the theme in this. It seems it's so like surreal. It's almost like watching a ghost story to me.
Well,
so I don't care if it's a little weird and trippy. Like I like that feel because it works with this story, and that's just my opinion. But you know, that's why I kind of.
There is a ghost in the movie.
This
works as a segue.
Perfect segue, yes.
From Ghost Month to Resurrection.
If you miss talking about ghosts, we can talk about it a little bit here.
If you still want us to talk about ghosts, don't worry.
So yeah,
rest your head.
So yeah, after the scene where they're unpacking the car, they meet Judd. Then you kind of see Missy for a little bit, who is the housemaid. Doesn't matter. Right?
She doesn't matter right now.
No,
right now.
She's kind of important.
She doesn't really matter at all.
It's true.
She's just...
She's extraneous.
Fucking character.
Exactly. But then they're like, it's time to go to bed, you know? Have a good day at work tomorrow. It's your first day, doctor. You know? Ooh, my. And the father's like, smile. I don't know.
You know what they say about doctors. Same thing they say about pilots.
Was that a freaking Woman in Black 2 reference?
Yes, it was.
Holy crap, Derek. Bringing it back.
Prices on a rollback.
Oh my god. Don't say rollback.
So they go to the school.
Yeah, it cuts to the campus.
To the school, and all of a sudden they're like carrying this dude in on a sheet.
Yeah,
I don't know where they got the sheet from, but they're carrying him on a sheet.
Well, it's a college campus. They probably have like a bunch of hippie communes around.
I guess, I don't know. So dude got hit by a truck.
Of course, the truck's
fucked.
The truck's
his brain,
in this town.
you can see his brain and shit. It's all like pulsating and shit. Mm-hmm. It's pretty rad.
And of course, Dr. Wallace.
Dr. Lewis Creed. That's a creepy name.
Lewis Creed.
Still a better Creed than the band.
Creed's a creepy last name.
Yeah. So they take him to him, obviously, because he's the only freaking doctor. First day, way to start.
Exactly.
Right? You know, instead of teaching,
they're like, "Where's Dr. Creed?" Right here. It's my first day.
People keep getting hit by fucking trucks, man.
Yeah, seriously. Which is, it's nuts. The trucks in this movie. What is Stephen King's deal with trucks? I can't. Maximum Overdrive. That's the name of the movie. That's what I was thinking of.
The car.
Have you heard of that movie?
Yeah.
That one was.
Is that the one where someone dies from a soda machine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right in the dick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one was directed by Stephen King himself.
Yeah, it was.
It was so shitty. But no, I don't know. Stephen King is obsessed with like cars being like malicious, like
Christine.
Know? Yeah, exactly. So of course,
Christine was a good movie.
That's the main killer in this movie. I'd say is the trucks, because they kill like a bunch of shit in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so he tries to save this kid who has a terrible head wound, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a failure. You know, I tried, but whatever." Closes his eyes, just like, "I told my daughter there would only be so much as a sprain today," and he's like, "I don't know." It's kind of.
And then the guy wakes up from the dead, and he's just like, "You fucked up, son."
Yeah,
that's like,
what does he?
The stone in a man's, or like the
soil
in a man's heart is stonier, and it's just like, what the fuck?
What is it? Is it an idea?
Cryptic shit.
Yeah, he's
just like, oh god, what the fuck?
I mean, like,
shit. And he's all like, "Don't worry, Lewis," and he's just like, "How'd you know my name?"
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like,
the fuck out.
If I just watched a guy die in front of me and then he comes back to life just to say that, I would
piss my pants.
I'd leave town. I wouldn't even I wouldn't tell anyone about anything.
It's been nice.
Which is
real. It's been fun.
Funny, we're living with your parents.
Yeah.
Grab the kids.
So
I'll grab the cat.
He goes home and just like,
he's just like
a little traumatized.
Another day at work.
Yeah, really. No, for a doctor, I mean, I bet that was kind of just like passive for him, even if it was creepy.
Mm-hmm.
He might have just been a little weirded out. He was, obviously. But then he, out of nowhere, sees this man that he had seen die in front of him in his doorway as a ghost.
Yeah. This was no. He woke him up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, "Let's go, Lewis."
And the ghost is
like, and then like you could obviously tell it was gonna green screen out.
Yeah.
Like the picture quality, he's like, "What the fuck?"
That was the best part.
And
He's like,
whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
yeah, he's like leaning against like the doorway, and then he just like shittily fades out.
He's just like, "Bye, Lewis," and
Yeah.
then disappears.
Like if I was taking notes, I would have written down shittily fading out.
And then all of a sudden he's like by his bedside. He's like, "Come
Yeah.
on, let's go."
Which
and
is
then
weird.
this time instead of like shitty fade out, he like
just reappears.
crawls away slowly, like back crawls.
Like,
and he
really,
does
it's
that.
kind of funny.
It's
yeah.
like pretty bad. It's
It
like,
is funny.
That dude cracks me up.
Yeah,
in the
but like
whole
you were
movie.
saying, like,
That's so great.
why did he disappear if he was just gonna appear by his bed like 1 second later? There's no point for
to
that
prove
effect.
that he's there. I don't know.
He's a lazy motherfucker.
I
He
think-
just teleported over.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that was for us to know that he was a ghost
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God! 'Cause-
instead of
yeah.
like a zombie. Because
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
if he walked over there, we would have no way of knowing without
If he was a ghost, or
impractical
zombie.
effects. Exactly.
True that.
Because he doesn't have like a glowing aura. He's not transparent. He's just a dude with makeup. And
He-
you
he-
pointed out, Trevor,
Dude.
that he's wearing the
Oh, he's wearing the greatest track shorts I've ever seen in my entire life.
straight out of
It's
Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
and
these
shit.
bright red, like half thigh.
I was
track
thinking
shorts.
sleepaway camp.
Oh, even worse.
They're the
So
same
great.
colors.
Oh
my
yeah.
God.
They're
And-
like Hooter shorts.
Yeah.
From like
With
he has
like the generic like '80s like hoodie too.
Yeah.
And like
he has like a plate of like hot wings. Let's go, Lewis.
Yes.
It's happy hour
Waft it,
at
man.
Wait,
Hooters.
you said like
He's like as solid as the ghost from An American Werewolf in London, though.
yeah.
Like he doesn't have ethereal look to him. He's just like a dude that got whacked too hard in the head.
Yeah. He
He's
still
like-
has all of his wounds as well.
He's
his
like,
head
"Come on,
split
man."
open.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's well because you were saying you mentioned that like you were like, oh, his makeup doesn't look like he's dead at all. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
But later, when you were on the phone with your girlfriend, there was like a perfect scene, like it was
my
like a
gosh.
daylight scene with him, and he looked like fucking dead as shit, man.
Yeah.
Like it was really good makeup.
Yeah,
and like one of his eyes was like whited out or whatever. The one that was like had his head blown out on. It was
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
cool looking.
Well, it might have been just because he was walking around.
It was dark when you looked at it.
He looked
though.
like he woke
He
up
was
on the
walking
wrong
around at
side of the
night.
road.
Yeah. Most
Too
definitely.
soon, Derek. Too
Too
soon.
soon,
That was
man.
89.
He looked like he woke up with the rest of his head on the wrong side.
Oh,
Yeah, seriously.
shit. Why did his brain try to cross the
Yeah,
road?
I've seen a lot of people
'Cause he
get
was
hit by
hit by a
cars.
truck.
and- yeah, I've seen a lot of auto wrecks with people getting hit by trucks.
Mhm.
He just looked like shit.
Yeah. But anyway, so he wakes Lewis up, and Lewis is like, this has got to be some dream, but I'm going to follow him anyway, you know?
Why
So
not?
he leads him downstairs and then outside, and he's like, where are we going, you know? And he's like, I'll show you, Lewis. Takes him to the road to the pet cemetery. Doesn't actually go to the pet cemetery.
No, they do.
They do?
Yeah, they're in the pet
Oh,
cemetery.
that's right. Okay, yeah.
And then he was all like, "Do not go beyond, Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
So
are some barriers you
go
don't
down.
cross.
Yeah, so the ghost is pointing
Some
like
barriers were never meant to be crossed."
yeah. He points like
Whatnot.
past the cemetery into
And in the
cemetery.
cemetery,
And he's just like-
the woods are just like glowing blue. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh, spooks.
And it's like what's through that like pile of wood behind the pet cemetery, you know? Like what's back there? And then instead of answering his questions, the ghost is just like, "Don't do it, Lewis. I warned you."
Lewis went like 100%.
Warn me about what?
Yeah,
He went like 100% bitch mode. And
Dude,
just
yeah.
fetal.
No,
No, like, I
he's-
didn't mean for
yeah.
you to die.
he went
It's
like
not my fault.
exactly because that's why he thought he was being haunted because he let him die or something.
Yeah.
But instead, he was like he's supposed
But he
to be
like
a
straight up
guardian
told
angel.
him, he's all like, "You helped me, so I'm gonna help you."
Exactly.
Or you tried to help me, so I'm gonna try to help you.
But that's funny that you
Yeah.
mentioned he went into bitch mode because
Yeah.
it's true. He's just standing
Just, like-
there talking to the ghost, and all of a sudden he like lays down, curls up in a
Fetals,
ball.
and it's like, it's not my fault.
His knees are on his chin. He's just like, I want to go home.
And then he wakes up and he's in his bed.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh man, it was all a dream."
What a weird dream.
But then he pulls back the covers and shashaw, he's covered in mud.
Yeah, his feet are
Ah.
dirty. He got his
So
bed
spooks.
covered in mud.
Yeah, man.
I was expecting his wife to be like,
You
"Did
know
you have
what?
a dirty dream or what?"
His wife is thankfully woke
I
up
got.
before him.
I just had a theory there.
What's that?
You know,
Tell us.
definitely the reason why their housemaid kills herself was because he muddied those sheets, man. What an asshole. She's just like, it's too muddy. I can't get the mud
Lewis
out.
is the real monster in this movie.
It's true.
Forget the resurrected animals and shit.
Dude, I think spooky movies that get to me the most are the ones where it's just like, let's just see how much shit we can put this main character through till we finally, like, kill them, you know?
I don't
Before
like
he
that.
snaps.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and then they, like, keep doing shit after he snaps, too, you know?
Like
It's
Evil
just,
Dead?
It's like, oh, I can't hold
Oh,
it.
like
yeah,
Evil
like
Dead.
Evil Dead, it just keeps getting
Oh
worse.
man, that
you
guy
know?
Eric.
God
he's
damn.
a champ.
Oh my
Like
god.
Oh, the
every
one with
movie,
glasses or whatever?
yeah, every movie
Holy
I've watched
shit, that
after
one's
that
fucking
where
crazy.
guys get the shit kicked out of them,
Yeah.
dude, I'm just like, you're a bitch compared to Eric.
Yeah, I was
dude.
like, why won't you just die, Eric? Please just die. Freaking nails through his arms, just getting destroyed.
Oh yeah, that's a thing for a different day.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
for sure
different
talking
with
about
different-
that.
Oh, that could go with your resurrection month.
We could do
because
your
Deadites and
Oh.
whatnot,
Oh.
or you could save it for like a Deadite zombie month.
Yep.
We-
There you go, Trevor.
Yeah.
We
We can review the remake too because it's relevant, more relevant at least.
It's super relevant. It's
Um,
only like 2 years ago.
Although anyway, so Lewis is he now knows something is fucked up beyond the cemetery. He's not sure what. He has no idea. All he knows is vaguely to not go over there, but it's not really too important to him because he never even knew about it in the first place.
Oh, dude.
So then afterward,
Doesn't the housemaid kill herself after, like, just like shortly after this scene or whatever? It was before Church died, wasn't it?
it was after Church died.
Was it after?
It was after Church died.
Church is the cat.
I didn't think Church was back yet. No, because it was
Just
before
so
they
audience
went on their
knows.
like vacation or whatever, wasn't it?
I think so.
It was just as they were going on.
They were like
vacation,
gonna go on their vacation.
Like the daughter.
Because Church
Well,
died.
what
Yeah, Church,
happens-
Church died after she died.
What
or she
happens
killed
right
herself.
after this though?
I think she kills herself after this. Like
well,
pretty soon after, right?
Lewis goes and talks to Judd
Yeah.
about it.
Oh.
He actually didn't he take them over to the pet cemetery?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So the next day after this, they end up going on their little hike to the pet cemetery, and Judd's leading the way, smoking cigarettes like a motherfucker. He's a chimney, this guy.
Oh yeah.
He's like, why won't God just kill me? I'll help him out.
He makes
you
a
know?
comment like that later too.
He does.
Yeah.
And so they go to the cemetery, and then like they're like, and then the wife of the family is like, oh my gosh, this is awful. You know, like
This is just grotesque.
it's a cemetery. And then Judd's like, no, it ain't grotesque. Cemeteries are happy places. You know, it's a place for them to rest.
That's where memories, or that's where the body
Kids
ends
gotta
and
know
memories
about
start.
death, you
or
know. Gotta
whatever.
Good
learn
memories.
somehow.
The
'Cause she's
pain
all like,
ends and the good
They
memories begin.
don't. Kids don't need to learn about death, and he's like, they need to learn somehow.
Yeah, they gotta learn about death
Otherwise,
somehow.
they fucking bury their dead in Micmac burial grounds and bring them back to life.
Like I did. Yeah, exactly.
Who's stupid enough to do that?
And he just starts like looking around like, but so
I
yeah.
guess-
Then the daughters. Judd likes the older daughter for some reason. Don't know why. Probably because she's the oldest. She's old enough to like understand some stuff and start learning. Because the other kid they have is a dumb little boy.
He was like 2
was
or
just-
3.
Yeah.
Adorable as shit, though.
But loves running in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn.
Well,
right?
little boy does
Scene-
not love
Scene
roads.
1 almost gets killed by a truck and then Judd saves him. This guy's a
How crazy
fucking
would
hero.
that movie be if it just ended at scene 1? Just like, well, shit.
And then Judd gets hit by the car too. They never see the pet cemetery or anything else. But
shit.
yeah, so he goes up to the little girl and Judd's like, "This is where the dead speak," and she's like, "Holy shit, what?" And he's like, "No, not really, but I mean like metaphorically."
Yeah.
And then pretty much has like cryptic, like kind of interesting views on like death, like we just
Didn't
said
Pascal
before.
say, he said, this is where the dead speak, and that's where, don't go where the dead walk.
Oh yeah,
And then, like, so he starts, like, saying some shit Pascal says.
He
'cause
said the soil in a man's heart is stonier.
No, he said that when he was going to bury the cat.
he said that after
I
they
think.
buried
Or no,
the cat.
after he
okay,
buried the
yeah,
cat.
yeah.
And it freaked the shit out of Lewis.
Yeah, but we're jumping around, guys. Jumping around.
It's alright,
So,
it's alright.
I guess
Connects.
Well,
still,
So-
we have had a lot of complaints about
Oh.
they
Let me
see
tell
the
you.
cemetery.
Okay.
They learn about all that.
It's seriously.
They go to bed that night.
Yeah.
The little girl's talking about death. Mom's not having it. So then the next day, isn't it when they go on their trip?
Yeah, they leave for the trip. And
The wife and the 2 kids leave, and Lewis stays so that he can
I don't know.
hunt.
Well,
No,
he works.
he didn't-
He's working.
Oh yeah.
He didn't want to go because
Oh, that's right.
his father-in-law is a total douchebag.
Yeah, which you actually
And
end up
was like,
seeing.
he'll never be part of my family.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
Even though he's
yeah.
a 2 kids.
Yeah,
You'd think that would have
exactly.
ended after kid 1.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
He's
you
just
made a
like the
grandkid.
biggest asshole ever.
Sure.
of
But
a father.
he uses the excuse like work
Terrible,
also,
man.
you know.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. It's like no.
And it's
No.
a Thanksgiving dinner trip, of course.
Yeah.
Which is cool how they transitioned that, because they had a picture of a jack-o'-lantern on the window, and the little girl peeled it off and replaced it with an ornament of like a turkey, and it's like, oh, that's a cool way of telling us it's Thanksgiving time, you know, without actually telling us we're going away because it's November, you know. They don't have to throw it in our fucking face.
Yeah.
You know.
And it makes sense too, because then Judd calls him over and it's like, "You need to come over here."
Yeah. So like,
And he goes, "The fucking cat's dead as shit."
oh wait, can we talk about that phone call first? So, like, you know, Lewis is all by himself, right? Uh-huh. And when he answers the phone from Judd, he's wearing, like, Back to the Future shit.
Oh, yeah. He
That was
totally
great.
looks like Marty McFly.
He, like,
straight
legit...
up.
Yeah, he's wearing, like a red hat and shit.
And
then what you said was
and,
so
like, the
funny.
hat's at the right angle for it, too.
And
Judd, are you telling me that my cat's dead? I'm late for school.
Because he's on the fucking phone, too.
That's so great.
So he goes across the street to Judd's house, and then lo and behold, right in front of Judd is their family cat.
Church.
Church's
Named after Winston Churchill.
Yes, short for Winston Churchill.
Oh, dude, we totally
just
forgot
like
about the scene.
We did?
When he first looks at the trail or whatever before they go explore it.
Yeah.
And he was looking at it at night because he's like, I'm just gonna walk around. Fucking Church. That motherfucker just jumps out. Like, it's like in the beginning of the movie, just jump scares everybody and just fucking screeches. This cat screech.
This movie has good jump scares because it doesn't change the
first time I
camera.
watched it scared me. After that, I'm like, oh, that's not.
Yeah,
that's
simply they probably just dropped the cat right into to the shot.
They probably just literally just dropped the cat because it was pretty real.
I like how they did that because they didn't it wasn't like anything actually scary. It was just a moment. They didn't have loud music
the cat
to tell
just
you.
happened to be jumping out of the fucking tree.
They didn't tell you to be scared. You didn't have to be.
I hate when a movie tells me how to feel. It's an abstract kind of feel, you know.
But
back to the. What we're talking about anyway.
So
Church. So he like puts
Winston
on his
Churchill
gloves,
the cat,
and he's like, "Oh, my daughter's gonna be
pissed."
pissed."
And he's like, "Yep, it's fucking dead."
just like Winston Churchill.
Picks it up and he like, you could hear the best peeling sound or
it's
worst
gross.
peeling sound ever. It's like,
and then Judd's like, "What you gonna do with that cat?" He puts the cat in the bag, and then he's like, "I guess I'll put it in my garage until daughter gets back so we can bury it." And he's like, "Oh, she's not gonna be too happy." And then he's like, "Tell you what, I'll help you bury it," basically, right?
Like all itching his neck and shit, just like looking around like, yeah, I can help
I
you.
got a better
bury
I
that
got a
cat.
good place to bury it.
Yeah. So they go to the pet cemetery eventually. He's got the pickaxe and the shovel. But when they get there,
he's like, should I just start on the outside or start a new ring? And he's like, well, we're going further than this place.
It's just like, no, Lewis, we're going beyond. So.
that's pretty, exactly like that. And he points to the bramble, the same area that the ghost warned him not to go to. He points toward that section of the, and he's like, and Lewis obviously is making no connections here because as a doctor, he's obviously an idiot.
Yeah.
He has to be. He's a doctor. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I don't get. It's like, put it together, man.
He
You
went
have a
to medical
PhD.
school to be a doctor, not to be a smart guy.
Or a spookologist.
Yeah.
So he's like, how do we get past the bramble? You know, just, let's climb over it. Follow my steps. Don't look down. Keep walking fast. Like, really weird advice.
Don't stop for shit.
Yeah, for, like, walking on, like, branches of, like, sticks.
Because it's
weird
haunted
advice.
spooky sticks.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But, so, you know.
I don't know how all those, like, sticks and big tree limbs would get there like that.
I don't know.
But it happened.
They just died because they're in the cemetery.
Oh my!
I guess.
He did mention. You can't really plant anything anyway, so
The
you might as
soil
well.
is sour.
The soil's sour, so might as well bury animals here. So maybe the trees around it died because of the shitty soil.
Bad juju.
Dude, but dead animals is good soil though.
Yeah, it might make it better now. I'm sure you could plant something on there now, but so. Lewis trying to follow Judd over this bramble falls down, hits his face pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, this actor takes a goddamn.
It's a good face hit. He's just
yeah, you see that impact. Fucking hurts.
Yeah, he's actually getting hurt in this movie, which is crazy.
It's pretty great.
Props
to this actor for getting hit in the fucking face and taking like a chance.
I wish I knew his name, man.
I don't know. He looks so familiar though.
Yeah.
But then Judd helps him up, just trying to get to the focal point of this.
Judd
movie.
comes up like you see this pan to Judd's face.
Lois,
You okay?
I love it.
you okay?
And it's funny. Yeah, it is pretty funny. It reminds me of something from Harry Potter for some reason. But he helps. I don't know why. Like Snape looking down on Harry Potter. But he helps him up, and they basically continue their journey. And you'd think it would be like right past that like wall of like branches, but they keep walking for like ever, and they stop at this one part that kind of looks a lot like the forest in like Twilight, like Washington, you know. Yeah. And then you just hear like the spookiest like Native American kind of whistling.
It was like loud rumbling roar and like some screeching and shit. It was like demonic as fuck. And he's just like, what the fuck's that? And Judd's just like, shh. What is just like, and all of a sudden it goes away. He's like, what was that? Oh, it's just a loon.
Yeah, loons don't sound like.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
that was a loon.
But
you're pretty loony if you think that was a loon.
They keep
a loon
walking.
as in like a mental person making a shit noise out in the woods or something.
Just some dude in a straight jacket, just like banging his head against a tree.
It was spookies, man.
So they keep walking in this direction for. It has to be miles. It has to be miles because it's like he keeps asking Judd, "Are we there yet?" Almost, not quite.
Almost there, Lois.
Almost, and they end up getting to like a cliffside by the sea.
Just got like the craziest old man endurance ever. Apparently.
He does.
He's like 50 feet away from Lewis, and Lewis is just like shitting his pants, sweating.
It's
just like,
true.
It's because Judd's made of blood and grit.
He grew up in a time where hiking was just going to school. You know,
he went to school uphill ways.
And during a snowstorm, without any shoes on, I was sick for a month.
I had to hike barefoot up there.
I had pneumonia. Lewis, you ever have pneumonia?
And they're climbing up these big rock faces and shit. And finally get up there.
Which is a pet peeve of mine because why, if they walk so far out there, why didn't they just walk around the cemetery? Why did they have to climb that bramble?
And because I don't know.
Fuck you, Cody.
So they get up there and he's just like, "Why did we come up here to bury?" He's like, "Well, the soil's thinner. It's easier to bury stuff." It's like that's stupid fucking excuse to walk 10 miles.
He's like, "Whatever,
something.
Old man."
But then you see like this fucking like giant Indian like symbol, made with like smooth stones and like certain logs placed in certain ways, and it's like, what is this? It looks almost like a pentagram.
Yeah,
it's very spooky.
Indians be the devil.
Yeah. So without saying anything, he says, "This is where we'll bury him," and then just hands him the pick and the shovel and says, "You bury it. It's your cat. You know, to each his own."
Each buries his own.
So they bury church and they go back home.
Yeah, which is
it takes them a long fucking time.
They get there
him.
like they
dig like the smallest hole ever. It's like a foot deep. It took them from like
at noon to night.
Till it was dark.
Like 12 hours to bury this thing. And like I love Judd's face
just
in one
smoking
scene.
the soap.
Yeah, and like
the sunset scene.
Yeah, he's like looking out in the sunset, and then he like turns and looks at the camera and smiles, and it looks like a fucking Folgers commercial.
With the cigarette in his hand too.
Yeah, I just imagine him like pull up like a cup of coffee and just like take a long sip and just go, that's part of waking up. Well, Lewis, part of a good brew is a dark brew, Lewis. The darkest brew is inside the man's heart, Lewis.
Sometimes Folgers better.
He's starting to sound like Morgan Freeman. But so they finally bury it. They go all the way back to his house. Yeah, they're walking. They finally get back to the house. It's nighttime. The phone's ringing in his house, so Lewis tries to grab it, doesn't make it in time. And then this is when he has that conversation on his porch with Judd.
Yeah, Judd tells him, "Don't tell them that we buried the fucking cat."
And he's like, "What did we do? You know, don't tell anyone what we did here, Lewis." And he goes, "Well, what did we do, Judd? What did we do? Why did we bury it there? What was that?"
The soil in a man's heart is stonier, Lewis.
Lewis is like, and he's like, "The ghost told me that."
Lewis had like the biggest shit scared face.
Yeah. What, Judd, are you telling me?
You telling me that the cat's coming back to life? I gotta get to school.
You can hear like the soft thumping of poop from his pant leg as Judd's telling him that. Just like, oh god. So spooky.
So yeah, whether that night or the next day, church comes back.
Yeah. Like he's about to he's talking on the phone, you know, he finally calls him back after Judd leaves the porch and he's just like, "Yeah, the cat's fine, honey, whatever," because they're at your in-laws' house. He's like, "Yeah, cat's fine, whatever." Doesn't tell him the cat died because he thinks it's still dead. But then, the next day, the cat's alive.
The church has never been stronger. You can see.
Yeah.
It was like really decrepit and nasty too. Though.
Yeah.
It had like plastic in its mouth because it like gnawed its way out of the bag.
Yeah,
Which he mentioned. He was just like, "Oh shit, you like bit your way out," and he's like, "Oh man, it must have been alive when we buried it." And it's like that makes sense, Lewis. It totally makes fucking sense. And he's
God
like
damn it,
trying to
Lewis.
like make sense of it, and Judd's just like, "Nope, it's a demon."
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I looked at the cat, and that cat looks fucking dead, but
He's
it's
like-
walking around.
Hey, Lewis, cats don't frost to the ground when they're alive. Shit was dead.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just like, well,
And you can tell the cat's fucked up too, because it's got glowing eyes, and
yeah,
it's
it's
really
got like blood patches.
It's
all over
vicious.
it.
And he
In
acts
fact-
even more like an asshole.
yeah.
Yeah, fucking
when
douchebag cat.
when Lewis holds Church, it scratches him in the face and
Yeah.
runs away.
He's like, "Ah, son of a bitch."
The family, the others and the family come back, and the daughter's just like, "Church smells funny."
It smells bad. Can we make kitty shampoo? And he's like, no, you stupid cunt. No. He's
Mom's just like, "It costs a lot of money to go get pets groomed."
and then Lewis
he's
is like white.
"I'll cuff up the dog."
Yeah, with his white guilt. He's just like, yeah, I should wash
She's
the
like,
cat
"I
that I
hate that
killed.
smell." And he's like, "I hate that smell too."
Yeah, it reminds me of death, Lewis.
Wink.
A darker brew is a darker day, Lewis.
So
I don't know. It's so stupid.
the next notable scene.
Yeah, the cat. By the way, the daughter doesn't seem to care that the cat is meaner,
Oh yeah,
which is
I like
weird.
when he's like he's like in the bath, right? He's just like, "Ah man, my face
Oh yeah,
hurts."
the
So he gets in
unimportant
the
bat
bath.
scene. Want to talk
That
about
was
that?
It was kind of important. I don't know. And then
Church-
Church being a douchebag drops the fucking dead rat inside of his bath, and he just freaks the fuck out.
And he's
like,
just
"What?
trying to show that he
How the
can
fuck
be
did you
top
get in
dog
here?"
still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is
and it shows like Church fucking has some sort of extra powers now because he can fucking get in a room that was locked.
Well, yeah. Lewis has like I don't
Sneak in
know.
rooms and shit with
Yeah.
the dead mouse.
Was
And
that
drop
that was
shit.
before the family got back home?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, because I think. Well, I thought he was like taking a bath because he got scratched in the face by the cat. He's like, oh, I gotta relax because I got one cat scratch.
Shit,
Or
Pussy.
something. Yeah, but this scene was gross. Like when like the cat threw that. It wasn't even like just a dead rat. It was like a bloody and like
It's
disgusting.
fucked up.
It falls out of the
Mold.
bathtub when he gets up and he like trips on it
Yeah,
again.
he's like, "Oh god
Bloody
damn
and
it."
viscous, just like my urine.
Yeah, oh god, terrible. Derek, you should see a doctor. You should see
Not-
this doctor,
no,
Lewis.
not-
Lewis,
No, not Lewis.
not Lewis.
But
A bloody viscous urine. It calls for a bloody viscous time, Lewis. No, but yeah, that was an interesting scene. Not really too important, but
No,
like kind of
it's-
shows how
it's
gross
cool.
the cat is
cool
now.
flavor scene.
It's true. Yeah, it's
The
flavor-
church
it's
is
flavor
corrupt,
intense,
is what
yeah.
you're saying.
The church is corrupt. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And then I
Derek.
think the next thing that happens was housemaid kills herself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. By the way,
It's
Derek,
interesting.
you just made the holy shit.
What?
That's the best foreshadowing or any. No. This
What?
movie has an analogy.
What?
He's saying the church is corrupt. And have
Yeah.
you noticed that throughout this movie, the little girl
Oh,
questions
shit.
God?
Oh god damn it!
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
Whoa! Did you guys ever put that together?
No,
You just
Fuck,
did
shit.
right there.
Damn,
Did you ever think about that?
You just-
Damn! This movie's deep now,
damn! You just made a new meaning to that shit.
dude. Oh my god! Wow,
You know what?
Derek.
Not to give it away, it just earned half a point more
There you go.
out of my
See,
original
I am
score.
almost
I was-
positive Stephen King did that on purpose because he's like, we're gonna have
Yeah.
the girl question the value and
I don't
morals of
know, man.
God, and
That's like saying,
Dude, you're so
Church is
deep, I
corrupt.
can't even
Well,
see
well,
right
I
now.
mean, that's like that's cool. That's like a cool addition, but I mean, I don't
Well,
think that was like a point.
intentional
I'm trying
or
to make.
not,
I don't- yeah,
let's say
I
it's
think
cool.
it's cool.
Though. It's
That's
cool.
a cool concept. That's
Yeah.
a cool idea.
So, like you said, I don't know when this scene actually does take place. It's not too important, but
It
talk
happens.
about the.
So the fucking
hanging.
housemaid goes is in their basement, right? Like
Yeah.
it looked like their basement at least, and she like writes a note and she just straight up fucking hangs herself,
Yep.
and it's just like, what the fuck?
There's
lady?
the end of Missy.
She's like,
Most
I can't take
important
the pain
character.
anymore. And so it was like this character that you just didn't need to have in there. No one
Very
really cared
extraneous.
about at all. Like,
Yeah.
no one was really that sad at the funeral. Like, they're like, whatever.
In
It-
fact, the only
this
people
lady
that
just
show
died.
up are like the.
Them and Judd and
A few other
Stephen
people.
King.
Yeah. By the way, that's
who
Stephen,
cameos.
Oh, that's why it's
Yeah.
important. That's Stephen
Oh,
King's
'cause This is
cameo.
cameo because he's the
Yeah.
priest or whatever he's.
Hail
is
to the
there.
Stephen King.
Yeah, and he looks ridiculous. But don't they have a conversation, Lewis and Judd, outside the funeral?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's why this is a segue for them to get to a
I
conversation.
think they're talking about like, church and stuff.
Pretty
whatever.
much. He just asked him
Being
like,
a zombie
you know,
and whatnot.
And the daughter's again asking, What's heaven like? What's death like?
Oh yeah, did is Missy going to heaven? And there's like,
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then isn't it the next day where we get the main coup de grace scene with Gage?
I believe so.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Right. Next scene or next day or whatever.
Yeah, freaking. So
Big
everybody
picnic.
who knows of this movie ought to know of this scene. It's the scene where the little boy Gage, 2 or 3 years old, little blonde, adorable little kid. Everybody's having a picnic out front of whichever person's house, their house or Judd's house.
Yeah.
It was
Does
like
not matter.
It's near the road, though.
He follows this kite that Lewis let go of, runs out into the road, and then they try to come and save him, and this big fucking semi-truck just rails this kid.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Lewis wins Father of the Year for this. Because, like, not only did he just give his, like, little boy a kite and, like, let all of his kite string run out, but, like, he just stands in between the boy and the family at the picnic table, just like, ha 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 ha, like, laughing back and forth. And
What
it's
a
like,
story, Mark.
and it's like, what a
He
story,
tried
Mark.
that. He was like sprinting.
Yeah.
And he just eats shit too. He like could have made it, but he just fucking falls right on his
He could have made it
face.
if he looked at his kid for a goddamn second. Like, you don't
Yeah,
turn
but
your
I mean,
back
like,
on your kid for 15
that's the
fucking
thing, like,
seconds.
That was the problem
Shit
with the
happens,
Woman in
man.
Black, man.
Yeah.
The first one that we still need to watch sometime.
Like you just never know when a kid's gonna do stupid shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And-
But he was like walking away from his son for a little bit. Did you notice that? He like turned around and he was like, ha ha ha, and then he like turned back and it's like, in fact, he didn't even look at the boy. The only reason he like started chasing him was because Judd said, "Don't let him go on the street, Lewis."
Yeah,
And he was
Judd
like,
notices the kids are running
The
off. And
road,
he's like, oh,
motherfucker.
shit.
You know why? Because Judd's a better father than he is. That's why Judd is the dad of this movie.
You know, maybe there were forces that were making him not look because it wasn't that like it was the burial grounds that were they made Gage die. Remember? It knew Gage was gonna die and it made him die.
That's right.
So he was gonna die no matter what, and so they made it like it just happenstance that he wasn't paying attention. You know, they like made it perfect so he wouldn't pay attention, so that Gage would die.
Seems no matter who you are, this scene is really cringeworthy.
It's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
And as I was telling Trevor kind of about this and kind of hinted at to Cody, is that this was really hard to watch this time since this little kid looks a lot like my brother who
really?
turns 3 Friday the 6th. So
Well, I don't know. I like that it's hard to watch. I like that it's hard to watch because it compels you. It's
even more
moving.
for parents, man.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
it was
It's scary.
When little Gage gets hit by the truck, I get hit in the feels.
Yeah. What did you say that Stephen King
My
does?
analogy: Stephen King finds a way to put your feels in your balls and then kicks them really hard.
Yeah,
Which is
see?
great. Oh wow, no shit. Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Holy shit, that looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're missing, I'm showing a photo of my brother to these guys, and they agree it's almost uncanny.
Yeah,
Almost uncanny X-Men.
but
Yeah, but it was a sad scene, really. Like, but I mean, that's
Necessary.
what makes it good because it's like super necessary. It hits you really
Yeah.
hard, like it's supposed to. Like it's the perfect part in the story where it's established enough that this kid is just fucking adorable as shit.
yeah,
and you're just like, oh,
and it shows the family sitting down with Judd later on, and this is a kind of a dumb scene, but it's important for story, but not really too important, so we won't talk about it too much. But Judd pretty much talks to the girl a little bit more about death because she's still obviously confused. She's like, why does he want him, you know? It's like, that's not fair, you know, whatever. This is bullshit about, like, God. She thinks that God's, like, taking him away, which is weird.
she's like, God can give him back, you know.
And Judd's like, I give up on this girl. And then, like, the father, Lewis, is just sitting there stone cold staring off the distance. But what would you do? Your son just died. And this is where it cuts to the funny funeral scene.
Dude, we forgot about the scene,
Did we?
the first Zelda scene. Oh, because you missed it. That's why we didn't talk about it.
No, I saw it.
Oh,
I saw
You
it.
saw the first Zelda
the
scene?
first one?
No, because you didn't.
Oh, the very first one?
Yeah, you didn't get that part.
I don't think I did.
You missed a lot.
Wait, don't they have the funeral first?
No.
I saw the
The
funeral.
first Zelda scenes when she was telling him
but
about
I saw
it
the
before Gage
funeral
died.
scene. Oh, before he died?
Zelda, the sister?
Yeah.
You didn't see that
Oh,
scene.
they mentioned that when
Yeah, when she's, like,
Missy
talking to him.
dies.
Yeah, it was after Missy dies or whatever. Then
I see.
she's talking to him about it and shit, and it's like that scene scared the shit out of me.
So what was that scene?
Because her sister had spinal meningitis and stuff, you know, and she's like talking about
the wife, not Missy.
The wife, yeah. Her sister had spinal meningitis, and like the parents just left her alone when she's 8 years old with her dying sister, and she's like all like fucking crippled and shit, and like
she looks very inhuman,
super inhuman, like green color,
like a xenomorph. I saw this scene.
I thought you walked out of this.
No,
part.
I'm telling you, this was.
When did you walk out?
I walked out
didn't
after
see the second one.
No, I walked out right after the funeral.
The little boy funeral.
I walk out of funerals too a lot.
I saw the wife's sister die.
Yeah, that was a really that part freaked me out the first time because like the scariest part, she's just like Rachel. And
Exactly.
like,
but let's talk about the funeral though. So little boy, closed casket, but we assume there was some reconstruction, obviously, because later on you see the boy. But
lots of reconstruction.
So closed casket, father's just sitting there, and then all of a sudden his father-in-law, Lewis's father-in-law, walks up and just goes, you know,
fuck you.
Yeah, he's like,
I knew this would happen, you piece of shit, blah blah, and then fucking punches him right in the goddamn face.
Worst punch ever.
Yeah, which is like
just.
And then
Lewis at your grandson's funeral, holy shit! And then it knocks over the casket.
Yeah, Lewis he goes after him down and it like knocks him into the casket.
Yeah.
And it falls on the ground, and then like some dude's like, "Get a hold of yourself! It's your son's funeral!" And he's just like.
And when the casket falls, it opens a little bit, and you can see the baby's arm, and it's like, oh shit!
Lewis should be beating the shit out of that motherfucker. Like,
how dare he?
Yeah, and he's like, "You have no right."
Yeah,
it was really fucked up.
Yeah, that's a fucked up scene, but I love it. It's
so plays on the douchebag father-in-law being a douchebag.
Yeah, which is weird. It's always like my bitchy mother-in-law. You know, this guy's an asshole though.
Well, he left his daughter to die in the back room of their house.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he's like being a super douche to Lewis when his son just
He's
died.
no father of the year.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
Judd is father of the year.
Yeah.
Judd is father of the last 200. He's fucking old as shit.
Love Judd.
Yeah.
So, love Judd.
Love Judd.
After the funeral scene, isn't that where we get the...
that is the story with the... That is where she tells her the story.
Well, that, and then the scene where Judd finds Lewis and says, I know what you're thinking.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So that's the scene right after the funeral is where Lewis's wife tells him about her sister.
No,
that she didn't like. It is.
No, it's after the first funeral.
Missy's
funeral.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, either way, we just talked about
it though.
Cody.
Yeah, we just did.
I don't know. It doesn't matter what order these are in. I'm sure.
Funerals are funerals.
She stayed like passed out the whole time. Remember? Because then Judd walks in when like Lewis is looking at all the pictures and shit. Whatever. And he's just like, she took her sedative.
I know what you're thinking, Lois.
But did we talk? Well, let's talk about that scene where the flashback with her sister. Because I don't know. You described it a little bit to me. That's just because you were checking if
It's really fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Because it just seemed really fucked up. It's like, it just freaked me out. Because I mean, like, it'd be really fucked up if there's just like this person hiding in your back room and they're just like dying and looks so inhuman.
Well, she had to feed
disease,
her,
you know?
and like
and she had to feed her and take care of her, and like the nurse wasn't there, and her parents were out, and the freaking chick was convulsing and dying. It was like
and like
shit.
grabbing her like some creepy zombie, and
and then she was like went crazy too, and like cursed her and was like, "Oh, you'll pay for this," and blah blah. Like when she's dying, it's like whoa.
And she was crying like running downstairs, saying like, you know, Zelda's dead, but she wasn't crying because she was sad. She was crying because she's like, yes, she's fucking
laughing.
dead,
finally dead.
Yeah,
this burden.
But she was worried also that her family would think that she killed her, but. Either way, that was just she was just admitting that to Lewis, which comes up a little later as a hallucination, but doesn't matter too much. So
it's just
it matters a lot,
factor,
dude.
Man.
Yeah, because the freaking evil spirit vengeance of Zelda fucking comes back to kill her.
Oh yeah,
through Gage.
Through Gage, it was super fucking creepy.
Is that why he was wearing a dress?
Yeah, maybe that's just what.
So what happens after the funeral? This is when I got a phone call and I had to leave.
Judd talks to Lewis about.
That's right.
About the
first time when
you can't go up there.
You can't go up there. It's bad. Sometimes dead is better.
Yeah.
Is
this a scene where he's like
he tells him about like the dude or whatever that they buried up there and how he comes back and he's not human. He's a zombie and shit. And then
they burn down the house
with him and his father in it.
Which is like...
And the father's like trying to get out, but like the dude wouldn't let him leave.
Yeah. Which is funny,
dude.
Because before he's like, you ever bury a person up there? And then he's like freaks out and goes, oh, hell no,
like,
hell no.
Goddamn no.
But now he's like, yeah, we totally did.
Spills his beer everywhere like fucking John Crane would.
Yeah, oh my god, John Crane. We mentioned him in the Mama episode.
Yeah, he watched Mama with us. It was great.
Dude, did you watch that episode?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. Good? Like, I don't know, I'll tell you now. I'll tell you later. But he said some stuff during the movie that was hilarious.
We were playing Magic, and he spilt his fucking Mike's Hard all over his deck.
Mike's Hard,
like, you fucked up. So he had to like unsleeve everything.
He had a Mike's Hard.
Yeah. Boy, that's hardcore.
I know,
oh my gosh,
but,
MLG Pro.
It was great. One of the funniest ones, though. I'll tell you real quick. He just gets up at one point and he's just like, I'm sweaty.
Yeah. and we're like, why? And he's like, this movie's fucking scary.
PG-13.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
And he's all sitting there like...
We're totally desensitized by now, though. I mean, like, these things are just...
No, that was just not a spooky movie, man.
Mama's pretty good, actually.
And it was okay.
It's more atmosphere and emotions than scares, but that's what makes it...
We're going to cut this part out, because...
No, we're fine. Fuck it.
About.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, they
Back
talked to... They mentioned, I want to bury my son up there,
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, don't fucking...
Nope.
Don't do
that. No,
that.
he didn't even say that. He was just like, I know what you're thinking.
Oh, I see.
You're
and
gonna
then,
go up
so his family goes on like a trip or whatever. I don't know why they go again. Why'd they go on a trip this time?
I can't remember.
Why'd he stay
Christmas?
Maybe.
They said to leave on the holidays.
I don't know. I think it was just to get her to her family or whatever to chill out for a while.
Because their son just did die. Maybe they wanted to be with their family a little closer, right?
Yep.
I mean, the wife is fucking
But he's like, nope,
traumatized.
I'm going to stay back and bury my son.
Exhume him, then rebury him.
Yeah, you missed the whole exhuming scene. It was pretty fucked up.
Yeah. So how does that go down?
He runs into the graveyard.
Daylight.
Yeah, broad fucking daylight.
That's when real crime happens.
Yeah.
And Pascal, this is when you see Pascal with his makeup. It looks really cool.
Looking at you, Wall Street.
Like middle of the day, he's just like, don't do it, Lewis. You're a fucking idiot.
The ghost that's helping him.
He's like, you're an upright chap. Don't do this.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, I'm fucking crazy as shit, dog.
He's
like goes full fucking
He's like,
crazy.
you don't understand. I'm a grieving father. I need to dig up my boy.
You don't understand. I have to exhume
He's
his
like,
body.
He's like digging. It's like dark now, and this cop car rolls up, right? And it like shines this light across, and it's like he just ducks down in the grave. It's like, how do you not notice this fucking grave that's being exhumed?
Like the shovel
there's
sticking
mounds
out.
of dirt.
No, it's just
like
mounds of dirt.
and all around.
There's like an excavator, like a fucking Doug scoop thing.
Yeah.
And then like when the cop like leaves, you just see the creepiest fucking smile on his face.
Yeah, he starts like cracking up.
He's just like fucking pulls his fucking body out.
Boy, that was a close one, Chuck. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
So he buries.
And when he gets when he gets him out, he like pulls him out. And he's just like holding it. He's just like holding the dead baby. And I was like, this is really.
He's like, it's gonna be okay,
sad.
Gage.
I'd vomit
Okay.
if I saw that or did that.
Fucked up.
I don't know. Like you just don't.
Up.
I don't know. It's scary.
This is really...
Sometimes the ground is better.
Yeah.
So he buries it in the Indian circle.
Yes. Right in the middle. Too,
Oh yeah, and there's like this. There's just like when he's walking there, like there's this really spooky ass face that comes out of like this rocks in the water.
I don't even know
just
who
like,
that was.
Whoa! I think it was Judd's face.
Judd's or Pascal's.
It was someone's face. It comes out of the rocks, and it's like,
and he just kind of goes
spooky, and he's just like,
fucking
blinks, and he's like, see. It was only imagination. And he just
right then.
He like totally Judds it and then just like fucking keeps going.
So he buries him, goes back to his house. He's just like, all right, I just did that.
When this happens, so the little girl has like this freak out fucking night terror shit. And she's like, Paxow, oh my god, Paxow, he's a good ghost, and blah blah blah, and talk about shit. And it's like, he was helping him before his soul I forget, and like cries, and shit.
Yeah, so the girl is able to actually predict exactly what's happening. Like, my cat died, and he's like, no, honey, cat's right here, and he's like,
that's silly, honey, cats don't die.
They have 9 of them.
So the mom was like trying to figure this out, and like the ghost starts talking to her because he's trying to help her. So
she's like, Paxow, and the ghost just goes, Pascal.
And she's like, was she trying to say Pascal? Whoa. And then
Before he
like, what was the
discorrelated or something like that. Some fucking weird made up word.
It was a weird word that isn't ever used.
Like Stephen King has like a calendar of like learn a word a day, and he just like, I better use this one.
Yeah. So then when that word said discorrelated, like Pee-wee and shit.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And then she fucking hops on the plane and shit, and like Pascal's like helping her every step of the way, like doing all these crazy
He's
Jedi
even
mind shit.
on the airplane.
He's on the airplane, just like the best derpiest like face.
He's just like, party on, wife.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and then so she gets there, not in time, because
Gage has
fucking
returned.
Gage
by
has already
then.
returned. He goes to his dad, to his house, and
He's
he like,
dying.
goes in his dad's shit. Apparently, he just knows
breakfast
that his dad has a scalpel on him. I don't know why his dad has a fucking scalpel on him.
Who's a
all the
doctor?
time, so I
He
don't-
brings his work home.
It was a nice case. It was like a gift, I'm sure, from like a doctor association or
That's
something.
true. Yeah.
An award, perhaps, for
He
service.
pulls out this nice ass scalpel.
Or he blew a paycheck on it, either way.
Yeah,
Because that is the baby's weapon of choice is a scalpel.
of course. Of course.
Runs across the street, and he's like, I'm gonna go fuck with Judd. And Judd's non-existent wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he goes in
It
there.
was a real mess after the wife, I'll tell you what.
Oh my god.
Goes in there, and he's just like, yeah, time to fuck shit up, boys. And, yeah. That's what he does.
Is this the scene where the baby...
Yeah,
Okay,
he's like
yeah.
Cuts
fucking
up
with Judd,
Judd.
and he's like laughing because Judd falls asleep on the porch, and he sees the fucking sees
Muddy.
the lights on in like Lewis's house, and he's like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden he sees like these muddy footprints all over the floor, and he's like, oh shit.
Lewis
Goes in
buried
his
the
house,
baby.
you know? And he's like, fucking here's fucking
This is one of my favorite scenes, by the way.
little Gage running around. He's just like,
Whoa.
come play with me, let's play hide and seek, and you're just like, oh fuck that.
Judd's got the best horrified face ever.
Yeah, he's just like
since
"Whoa."
Henry from Dead Silence.
Yeah.
You know, just pure terror. And so he follows it up to the bedroom, looks under the bed, and then looks elsewhere in the room, and that's when Gage cuts him right in the Achilles
Yeah.
tendon.
Which
Ooh.
is...
Oh no, the cat comes and distracts him.
Oh,
Looks
that's
at the
what it
cat,
was.
and then
Yeah.
Gage is just like slice
From
slice,
under the bed,
straight
yeah.
through, and he's just like,
Yeah, it's not like a
Oh, but-
stabbing or like one swift cut. You
It's
see
just
him
like
like saw
saws
into his
through
Achilles
it.
heel with
And
his
Because
he
he's
falls
only like
over,
2
right?
years old,
I
man.
know, but
He has
so
no
much
muscle.
fucked up.
and he's trying to like defend himself. You know, he has a pocket knife, and freaking Gage just like slice like right across his face and like cuts his like cheeks open.
Gives him Joker's smile.
Gives him a Joker smile, like hardcore.
You want to know
And
how I
he's
got
just
this
like,
Judd?
I don't know how Judd couldn't defend. Maybe he was just so scared he couldn't defend against it.
Lewis couldn't fight him either, if you think about it.
No, Lewis did,
Kind of.
and he killed him.
It's hard though.
Well, it's
He was
because
all
he had
worn
the
out.
element of surprise, and he was getting stabbed and shit.
True.
I
But,
think it's because Judd was worn out from all the hiking.
I think Judd was just like, I think he just got really fucking scared though.
Yeah.
He
It's
was
just
tired.
the load in his pants. He could not freaking get up to like run away. But he like falls down like just on his back after he gets his mouth sliced, you know, and then like freaking Gage just starts eating his goddamn neck.
Yeah, rips his throat out with his
Yeah.
teeth. Kills the old man, which is like, you know, it's like finally he died.
And he hides him under the bed.
Yeah. And then,
And then the mom shows up
oh god.
and goes over to Judd's house first thing instead of going to Luce. Goes over to Judd's.
Well, it's
What's
probably because he's like assuming they're just hanging out
I don't know.
or
Having
something.
a couple
I
Budweiser,
don't remember
smoking
why.
a couple Marlboros.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember why.
This movie brought to you by
Oh.
such products.
Yeah, I can't really
She
remember
runs
why
in there,
myself.
and the fucking kid's just like, "Come play with me, mommy," or whatever.
And
like,
she's like, oh
she
shit.
goes up, and fucking like, she sees Judd or whatever. Or she like lifts the thing. No, she didn't see Judd. Never mind.
No, the baby just
So the
standing
baby
there with a
was just,
scalpel
like-
in a little summer dress.
Yeah, in the summer dress with a fucking cane, like walks out.
Yeah, it's
It
really
has a
weird.
cane.
It's
like
really
a really
weird.
weird scene.
I think
And
if
it's
I
Oh
like-
remember
shit!
correctly-
No, I totally remember what happened. Because like I don't know why. I also was forgetting exactly how it happened. But when she walks in, she sees her sister Zelda.
Oh,
That's
shit!
crouched
yeah.
down on the
Oh,
floor.
like crouched in the corner,
and she's
just
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Oh, because we forgot about the other Zelda scene. The second.
We can
Zelda
mention it in the highlights
scene.
We can, yeah, we'll do that.
because it has nothing to do with any of this.
I
really,
thought that's
about
why.
the
That's what I was
spooky.
saying. But so yeah, Zelda's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna get you, and gets up right in her face, and she's like, oh, freaks out.
She's like,
yeah, closes her eyes, opens it back up, and that's when you see the baby with the top hat and the cane.
He's got a top hat and a fucking cane.
And
like
he's like, I brought
daddy.
you a gift, mommy. I brought you a gift.
Holds
and
out
she's
a
like,
knife.
oh, Gage, I love you, and like goes and hugs him, and
he just stabs her,
and you just hear and she dies, and she screams and dies.
Yeah.
And like the scream, you hear the scream, and all of a sudden Lewis wakes up, and it's daylight.
The next
He's
day.
just like, oh shit.
And he's like, what happened?
And he like looks over, and
he
there's
gets
like footprints up to his bag. He's like, shit. Goes and like looks, the scalpel's gone. He's like, shit.
And then he gets that phone call when he's downstairs.
Yeah.
From Gage.
No, the first one's from
remember.
Dad or whatever, and he's just like, excuse.
This is the best. Yeah, this is the best phone call. He's like, hey, how you doing, Lewis? Your daughter wants to talk to her mother. Can you put her on? And he's like,
sleeping.
and he's like, oh, really? Because she really wants to talk to her. Just wake her up. And he's like,
I can't talk right now.
Excuse. Yeah, just fucking.
Because he sees these muddy footprints going down into the basement.
Yeah.
And then he
starts walking down.
And then again, like Trevor says, he's just like, shit.
And then the phone rings again. He picks up and goes, I told you I can't talk to you right now. And then it's
like,
Gage.
Hey, Daddy, I played with Judd, and then I played with Mommy, and now I want to play with you.
He's like...
and it's like the greatest you ever. Like, you.
It's great. I was just thinking of Ike from South Park as far as child acting.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's just like, again, shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god. So he's exploring the house,
and
trying
he's
to
like,
find
weapon of choice, syringes full of some sort of
death juice.
Yeah.
Death juice.
Yeah, he like
full of death juice. I don't know what he uses.
Anesthesia, I think.
I don't know.
It
Well,
Something
they
to
kills
kill
him with it.
Yeah, he does. Because you remember he
euthanasia.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever the chemical is for that.
Either way, he's ready to fight the baby, and he practices his weaponry on the cat.
Fucking kills Church.
Yeah, finds the cat outside, kills it, and he's like, go to sleep. Like,
prepare to die again.
Just die already.
Stabbed him right in the ass.
That's true.
But only undead ones.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. So he's like, okay, this works, clearly.
I don't always kill people, but when I do, they've already been dead.
He walks into Judd's house, and everything's super fucked up and crazy looking. Like
it's
mold
strange.
everywhere and shit. And he's like walking up the stairs, and he sees his wife's shoe, and he's just like, what? And like, as soon as he picks it up, everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
Like normal Judd's house. And then fucking baby's like, did I scare you, Daddy? And it's just like, oh my fucking god, you did.
This kid's powerful.
It's like, oh shit.
Big things come in small packages.
Then he goes up to the one bedroom, looks underneath the bed at one point, because he's like, oh shit, is my son under here? Finds Judd's dead body. Judd's dud, baby.
Yeah.
Judd's dead, baby.
Judd's a dud.
He's spud.
Judd's spudding. Judd's dead.
He was really fucking dead.
And he's like, oh my god.
His face was fucking eating his shit.
Yeah, and he's like, oh shit. And this is like the final confrontation. He goes out in the hallway, and then boom, from the top where like the little ladder is, where like attics are.
Mm-hmm. The hideaway.
His wife's body, hung up with a noose around her neck, fucking falls right in front of him, and he's like, holy shit.
And you see like the most evil fucking face ever from the baby. He's just like
coming around the corner.
And then it was up on an attic,
it was
and
up
it
there.
fucking jumps down on him and starts fucking stabbing the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit.
So
Cuts him in the face several times.
It looks like he's wrestling a koala bear.
Yeah.
He's like trying to throw it off of his body.
Very snazzy dressed koala bear.
It's true. He's still weirdly dressed, but the baby's cutting him and stabbing him with the scalpel.
Finally fucking throws him off.
Yeah.
And then drops a syringe on the stairs or whatever during the exchange. Because he's trying to stab him while he's getting stabbed by the scalpel, that's why.
Exactly, yeah.
And so he like has
he
two more
syringe
syringes.
to a knife fight.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And so finally he fucking... how did he get him? He was just like...
He just went, he said, come here. He just like had the scalpel.
And then just like grabbed him and then fucking stuck him in the neck. And it just looked really sad.
He let out the
saddest little boy cry ever.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just like, damn, that
and
kid's
you could
in pain.
see the heartbreak on the dad's face.
And he pulls the syringe out.
And the little boy's just like, no fair. And just like walks around the corner. It's just like, no
falls
fair.
Falls over
and
thud.
And just dies, yeah.
Falls over
dies again.
And then the dad just sits there and goes, well, time to burn down the house.
And before he burns down the house, he takes his dead wife out.
Oh, yeah. Which you actually don't see by the
Yeah.
way.
You see when
You
they're
see him
walking
walk
out of the house,
but you never see him grab her.
Yeah, you don't see him.
But as the house is being lit up, you see
You don't see him pour the gas on the
come
baby.
out with the wife.
That's true.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah. You see him
Well,
like
do you
pour,
see the baby get lit on fire?
Yeah,
by
you see the
gas.
gas.
Yeah.
You see him pour gasoline like all throughout like the foyer and like the dining room and stuff. But then when he lights the fire, it like shows a trail of like gasoline being lit and leading up to the baby, and the baby's on fire. It's like holy shit.
Yeah.
You know.
That is bad.
He walks out with the wife, and Pascal's standing there like,
Just like,
Lewis, I was trying to warn you.
don't fucking do it, Lewis. And he's like, it'll be different this time. She just died. Gage died forever ago.
Yeah, it'll be different. And it's
It was
cool
weeks
Pascal,
ago,
different.
motherfucker.
It's cool what the ghost Pascal says because he's like, I'm so sorry, Lewis, but this won't make it better. This is only gonna make it worse. And he's like,
don't make
fuck
it
you.
worse, Lewis. Don't make
He's
it
like,
worse.
fuck
I
you.
know it's bad. Don't make it worse. And he's just like, YOLO.
Yeah. So you assume he buries his wife up there, and
Well,
you see,
him take it up there or whatever.
yeah, that's true.
And
But-
then he gets back.
And he's sitting in his kitchen,
Playing
sitting
with
on
a
the
deck
floor.
of cards.
Deck of cards.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. He's like playing solitaire. I'm
I
not even
dug
sure.
it.
Yeah. And then the old wifey walks in.
Yep, 12 o'clock, midnight strikes.
Yeah.
You see the wife's dirty hand creep open.
Oh god, they were really fucked up nails too. They were nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna happen if you dig out of the fucking dirt, right?
Yeah.
Dig out all the rocks and
So
shit.
he's like, oh my god, honey. Goes up to this. She's gross.
It was
She's
disgusting.
She's
Like, half her
herbs.
face is missing, and then
Yeah.
her eye just starts oozing this pussy
And he's just
goo.
like, and
he's
it's
just
never
like-
looked better on you.
Yeah.
And they start making out hardcore with this pussy goo all in their mouths and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's so gross.
Which is, that was so
and then
insane.
you see her, all of a sudden, she reaches for the knife, and then it cuts to black, and you hear him scream, his beautiful scream again.
Which is the coolest.
He's got a pretty good scream.
He does. It's
He's
great.
got a great scream.
But what a way to end that movie.
This is
I
pretty
mean,
good.
like, that's so cool. Like, it's disgusting how, like, there's,
And
like, you could see him, like, the pus is going into his
Yeah.
mouth as he's making out with her. But,
Just
like
That's
oh my
just the
gosh.
love juice, man.
that poor daughter is gonna be so fucked up.
Yeah, they don't even, like, give you an epilogue with that. You just have to assume.
That's so sad.
Which is why they made a sequel, I'm sure. But it has nothing to do with Stephen King.
Oh, the sequel's horrible.
Yeah,
That's for a different day.
exactly.
It was supposed to be, it was left open-ended for a good reason.
Yeah. But anyway,
Best moments, worst moments.
yeah, let's just talk about that. Because okay, yeah. Can I start with mine?
Yes.
Best moment for me was, well, honestly, I would have to say the scene with the scalpel in the, I don't know why, because I remember it so well, that's why. Like, when I think about this movie, that's all I can think about.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the whole movie to me it's a great movie. I want to say now that my favorite scene is the part where Judd's looking off on the sunset. He looks at the camera and smiles.
Oh, the Folgers moment.
The Folgers moment. That's my favorite scene. Worst scene, the right when the credits roll.
Oh yeah, that generic rock
Yep.
starts playing in the credits.
It's got this creepy music, great atmosphere. His wife is like, back with him. It's very spooky. He's obviously going to get killed by her. And then it cuts from black, just throws you right into the credits with like shitty rock and roll music. And you're like, no, I don't want to hear that.
You're like, please.
Yeah, I was in the mood and now it's like... Now
Now I'm gonna have to go look at some other shit to get me back in the mood. Thanks a lot.
It's weird. It's like the worst
Yeah.
cutaway ever. What about you though, Trevor? What was your favorite scene and your least favorite scene?
Shit, so...
Do you want to talk about the Zelda scene, if anything?
Well, favorite being what? I mean, like, I don't
Like
really have
the
a favorite.
best-
I have, like...
Highlight of this movie that you thought was interesting.
I don't know. I think the spookiest part was the first Zelda scene. It
Yeah.
really just cringed and scared the shit out of me.
The first
There you
one.
go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Nostalgia freaks, like when she fucking like contorts and shit. Her neck's just
Yeah.
Her back looks atrocious,
yeah,
man.
she just doesn't look
Like,
human. And when
can't
I was like in
decide-
7th grade, it scared me really bad because it was just like, damn, she's just dying. You know,
You don't
It's
see
like,
shit
whoa.
like that in horror movies nowadays. It's
Yeah.
more on the blood, not the
Exactly, not
spectacle.
like- yeah.
The
So-
party in the back.
What about least favorite then?
I think my least favorite was like the maid killing herself because it wasn't relevant. to
But
a
it
lot
was
of shit.
very spooky though. To watch it was kind of
It was
horrifying.
pretty fucked
I
up.
don't like.
I mean, I
seeing
feel like it
people
was just a
hang
fucked up
themselves.
thing
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
people
to throw
hanging
in
in
there.
jail.
You know, like I think it was just like a fucked up thing to throw in there that didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
You know,
You know,
That's why.
I realized that the credits can't really be a scene. I'm gonna go with my least favorite scene was actually anything with a little girl acting. Her dialogue sucked.
I remember you saying when he killed Church.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's just hard to watch. I like that scene though. If it's hard to watch, that makes it good.
That's what I'm saying for like a scary movie. Like,
oh yeah, it's great for a scary movie, and that's what this is.
The best scene would have to be like when freaking Gage gets hit. Like, that's like the most impacting scene you can have, man.
That's the scene of the movie.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What about you, Derek? Favorite scene, least favorite?
I've got 2 favorite scenes.
Go for it.
And they're both, and I only say these 2 because they're both ones you 2 haven't mentioned. Because otherwise I would say the Achilles heel one is pretty good.
Oh.
The second time we see Zelda, she, isn't the wife's name Rachel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, she comes in down this hall in a dream, and she opens up this door after she hears Rachel. She opens the door, and her sister's just laying on the bed, like just kind of facing away from the camera, and then all of a sudden just springs up like and looks dead center into the camera, and it just sent a jolt right from my ass up to my neck. I just went, woo,
Spooky.
oh boy. And just that, like, her trying to be, like, anytime she started talking scary, I was just kind of like, eh. Like that third one when she just comes up and goes, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
I was just like, get the fuck out of here. That second one was just pure show and no tell.
So what about your other?
The second one is when Lewis comes back in after burying his wife, and then he just sits down in front of the refrigerator and starts playing with a deck of cards.
So random, right?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's just so chill of him, because he's just like, what the fuck
Everything's fucked up.
Yeah,
like
go play a game
was,
with my wife. Right?
Everything went to hell, I'm going to play with myself.
So, least favorite scene then?
Least favorite scene. I wish I could be a dick and say the Stephen King part, but I actually dug that. I thought that was clever. I'll have to agree with you. The daughter's scenes are just atrocious.
Yeah, you can't pick just one because she has a lot of dialogue.
Really shitty
Her
dialogue,
acting is stilted. Yeah. Like, normally I would say that's just all child acting in horror films. But movies like Don't Be Afraid of the Dark and Mama have shown me that...
Babadook is great.
And Babadook.
Make the little girl like a few years older and throw that kid in there. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You know? If you have to. I mean, honestly.
So, her acting just kind of bothered me.
Acting was better
than
hers.
Yeah, it was. It was, actually.
Oh, boy.
And it's not really a scene, but it's a thing that I had issue with the ghosts, Pascal and Zelda.
Yeah.
They were haunting those people kind of for weird reasons. Like, Zelda should have been harassing her parents.
Yeah.
Not Rachel.
Yeah. Well...
And Pascal could have, like, been more clear on stay the fuck away from this, or just not even mention it.
Stay the fuck away from the rookies.
Pascal didn't do shit. If anything, he just got the wife killed.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Because he made her get there. There were so many opportunities for her not to make it, and he made her get there.
Yeah, making another callback back to The Woman in Black 2. My issue was these ghosts were haunting for the wrong reasons.
For no reasons. I hate that so much. That was dumb. But anyway, that wraps that movie up. So, what do you rate it out of 10 spooks? Let's start with our special guest, Trevor.
I give it...
Out of 10 spooks.
Give it an 8 spooks out of 10.
8 spooks out of 10.
That's pretty good.
That's a solid B.
Derek.
Solid B.
What do you rate it out of 10 spooks?
I'll have to agree with you, Trevor. 8. Actually, no. I said earlier it gets a 0.5 increase because of whatever.
Because of bullshit paradigm.
Whatever we brought up.
Churches.
Oh, yeah, the church. And, like, the...
Oh, yeah, the church was corrupt.
Talk about God.
Mm-hmm.
Corrupt church makes it 8.5.
Now, this makes me feel insane. Because I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10 spooks.
That's a lot of spooks.
It's a lot of spooks. I think that's the highest any of us have ever rated anything on this. But this movie was great to me when I was young. I don't remember much, but watching it again, there's nothing that I regret. It's just better the second time.
Actually, no. You made me rank Mama as a 9. Because I said 8.5 then, and you were like, fuck it, dude, just give it 9.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough too. I mean, Mama was pretty good, but you know.
Mama to me is
I didn't
Pet
enjoy
Sematary
Mama
to
that
you.
much.
You should watch it again. I watched it
I
3
watched
times.
it.
The third time was actually interesting watching it again.
It was pretty good.
I
Pretty
think John
spooky,
just
but I mean,
made
I
it
just,
enhanced
yeah.
for him.
Maybe that's why. Maybe John was freaking me out more than him. I thought he was going to shit his pants and I would have to clean my couch. But
It was awesome.
no, yeah, I overall this is a pretty
I
hard
love watching
movie.
scary movies.
We should make him watch every single
Yeah.
scary movie
So
with us.
scared.
I mean, so overall, if you've got problems with this movie, I mean, you got to realize it was 1989. This was pretty great for back then, honestly.
Yeah.
You can look past some of its flaws. I feel like it's supposed to have a cheesy kind of feel because it's a Stephen King movie, right?
He's basically Spielberg for horror. He makes the homely feel.
Yes. And if anything else, watch this movie for Judd's character.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Judd's the greatest character.
King.
ever.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll give another 0.5 for Judd. So, 9.
You're gonna give it a 9 too? I'm telling you, man, Judd makes this movie. I forgot how cool of a character he was, you know? And, you know,
Fuck it. I'm feeling generous. It is my brother's birthday.
Happy birthday, brother. I give it a 9.
Happy happy birthday,
Judd.
Jimmy.
Judd.
And thank God for Judd. God
Yes.
bless Judd.
So,
Never
next
forgetty.
week, never forgetty. Judd's dud, baby.
Yep.
So, Derek, tell us what movie we're gonna watch next week.
Death Dream.
Ooh,
Death Dream.
this one's way more of a classic than this
Never
movie.
heard of Death Dream
It's like a
before.
cult classic.
Yes. Tell what year did it come out?
74, I think.
Wow.
Let me
Shit.
check this.
Yeah, this is some Texas Chainsaw Massacre era stuff.
Really?
Yeah, this is
We can't hear you in there.
pre-Halloween slasher.
Whoa.
We can get more into it when we do it, though.
1974.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I think it's the oldest film I own.
But yeah,
Wow.
Trevor, so I don't know, final thoughts on this movie? Is there anything you want to add? Because we watched this at your house and everything.
I
So
thought it was good. I thought it was spooky.
was
Yeah,
it as
your
good
house-
as you remember?
It gave me an A on my English report, and that's all I care about.
Would you say it was better back then because we were younger?
It was definitely better back then because I was younger and
We've been tainted by new horror.
I've been tainted
Yeah.
by new horror movies.
I don't know. I'm
just-
digging.
That was like when I was just starting to really get into
Yeah.
horror movies. It was like around like 6th, 7th grade, you know. So like that was still when it scared me, but I'd love to watch them.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it was better because it scared the shit out of me back then.
That's
like
true.
now, like if I watched it fresh now, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I feel like I'm getting more into the story, though. That's kind of why I liked Mama a lot more, and I like this a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of getting desensitized to, like, shock factor movies.
Yeah.
So, I don't know,
The
but that might
spooky part.
change. Like, I'm sure if I watch Chainsaw Massacre again, I'm going to fucking freak out. And that's
I
mostly
only
gore.
like freak
The
out if I
original
watch
one?
it alone
Oh, yeah.
now. Like if I watch spooky movies alone, I can usually
Oh,
freak
definitely.
out.
We
We
were
my
kinda-
mind's like, oh man,
Yeah.
spooky shit's Zelda's gonna come get me in the middle of the night. Oh fuck.
Dude, I've been looking out the window every once in a while just because I keep thinking my face in the reflection is going to turn into her.
Oh.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm probably going to close the blinds once
You
you
guys
guys
are
leave.
ridiculous. So, anyway,
I don't know.
Well, join us next week where we review Death Dream for the continuation of Revival Resurrection Month,
All in the name of the Lazarus Effect.
which we will definitely
Oh.
watch in theaters
Was
when
that
it
one?
comes out. End of this month, February 27th.
Dude, okay, because I was gonna tell you guys about that. I was like, yeah, you see about that new horror
That'll
movie?
be the premiere movie
That's
for this
why
month.
it's
We'll try to. If it's
Resurrection,
if it's
that's
new, watching it, we're reviewing
Right
it.
on, right
Other than
on.
that, filler movies until then.
cool stuff.
Do you want to sign us off though, Trevor? Because we're going to conclude this podcast for today, and we will be here next week.
All right. See you guys later.
Whether you like it or not.
There we go. There we go. Bye, everybody.